Hey, welcome back. We're dropping these a little bit more consistently now. We've got a lot of movies to get through, and if we only do one or two a week, it's gonna take forever. So this time we got Flesh Feast. Flesh Feast. I turned this one on, and it looked to be at very poor quality. Poor video quality. It looked like someone recorded it off of VHS, even though I watched it on Tubi TV, which usually has good quality stuff. I guess that's the best they could do. But in addition to that, just the effects and stuff were pretty bad, and so I found out that this, just like Cauldron of Blood, was actually shot in 1967 and couldn't find a release until 1970. Um, Really, when you watch a lot of these movies, you can really see the difference between uh, like year to year. I even was watching some from 1972 recently, and they just look a lot better than 1970, and 1970 looks a lot better than 1967. Unless, of course, you're looking at major Universal Pictures type releases, which those look good. I mean, they've all been redone and fixed up for newer releases, and of course, no one has yet taken Flesh Feast, to my knowledge, and doctored it up and made it look good. Some of the other movies we've seen on here, like Savage Intruder, actually just got redone very recently by Vinegar Syndrome, which is based right here in Connecticut. Um, you know, I don't know how they pick their movies. They definitely have redone some really great ones, fixed them up. Savage Intruder, I don't know if that one really deserves the Vinegar Syndrome treatment. But anyway, no one's done Flesh Feast yet, to my knowledge, because Tubi TV put this like VHS rip up. But anyway, Flesh Feast was starring Veronica Lake. She was a famous actress in the 40s. Not a famous horror actress, but she did do a lot of movies in the 40s. And she came back here with her final movie, Flesh Feast. Now, the poster looks great. Um, we've got this cool green, bright neon green font. It says there morbid horror in vivid color, which is funny because I noticed some of these posters are, I mean, this isn't exactly black and white because the font is green, but there's no color on the poster, but the movie's in color. So, especially in 1967, a lot of the movies were still black and white, especially the low budget ones, and I'm surprised that they're not passing it off as advertising with a color poster. I noticed that a couple other times too. But anyway, this thing you see hanging here, this corpse, definitely the coolest part of the movie. And I would say in this entire movie, there might be two interesting moments in the entire movie. The movie is pretty bad. Um, it's bad, like by any measure. It's kind of like a mystery, so you don't really know exactly what's going on. Unfortunately, kind of similar to Cauldron of Blood, the clue to the mystery is in the one sentence description on Tubi, so it was kind of messed up for me. But even if I hadn't read that, the twist at the end is not really redeeming for how bad the movie is. So basically, in this movie, we got Veronica Lake. She's a scientist. She's doing a secret experiment for some organization that's not really named until the end of the movie. You don't know why she's doing it. You do know that she's using maggots on human flesh, but you don't know why. You don't know what she's doing. And there's like a lot of creeping around, and shady characters show up at her house, but you don't really know why. It's like, okay, all right, not bad. Well, not great either. So nothing really interesting happens until like 2/3 through the movie. One of her roommates, I think, like walks into her laboratory, and in her laboratory we have this corpse hanging from upside down. Now, it's not really even explained why there's a corpse there, because what we find out at the end of the movie is that she is working on an experiment where she uses maggots and puts them on a dead body and then revives the dead body, kind of like a Frankenstein type thing. But we don't see the results of her experiments until the last 5 minutes of the movie. So like there's no like corpses getting up and walking around. No one really dies until the last few minutes of the movie. So it's kind of like a mystery, but you do get the horror aspect because every once in a while they'll show like close-ups of maggots. And the whole score is pretty effective because it's like this creepy music throughout the whole movie. So you know it's a horror movie, but like nothing really happens till the end. Well, the plot twist at the end, I really don't need to even warn you that this is a spoiler because like you shouldn't watch this. It's not very good. The plot twist is she has the body of Hitler and she revives Hitler for like these Nazis. But then there's a second twist right after that she revives Hitler only to torture him because her family was tortured by the Nazis in World War II. That entire reveal takes about 5 minutes, definitely less than 10, okay? So we have like Hitler laying on a table, she puts rice on him, which is supposed to be maggots, and there might be one or two real maggots like on this guy's face, and then it's just like Hitler screaming for a minute, and then the movie is it says like the end right across his face. Nothing really cool. Not worth it. I would give it a 3 out of 10 because this thing is cool, and it actually looks really awesome in the movie, and good job trying for like a double plot twist. Like I respect it, but it's not well done. 1967 might have been a little bit more impressive by the time 1970 rolled around and it got released. Like, I can't really imagine a lot of people caring, although I did read that this movie was in theaters from 1970 all the way until 1983, like in drive-in and grindhouse theaters. Sometimes as the second feature, sometimes as the third feature. But just because of the name Flesh Feast, people were like, oh yeah, Flesh Feast, I'll check that out. So that's pretty much it for this one. We're going to keep grinding through, and I do foresee a few good and exciting ones coming up. A few foreign movies we got coming up that seem to have stood the test of time. All right, see you next time.